See a nice little opportunity to scalp this move right down to the 29.25 area, just on the basis of that nice little bar right there. And there you have it. Nice little scalp, very easily done. Lots of volatility. Well now, what shall we do next? Nice divergence here to go along. And you gotta react very fast in this market today. It's moving really fast. Now we're on a 10-second bar today. So where are we going to go along here? Looks like we're going all the way down to 23. We fully expect the market to go back up and test this high in here. Well, I'm going back up, but I don't think we're down low enough yet. No. So what we need is a nice divergence at a new low. Now we had it there. That's a good sized divergence. But if you look down here, 25 is a much better level on the matrix. And 2375 is the projected low value area, and it really looks like that's where it's going. And of course, the matrix on the YM is anybody's guess. Here it's showing at 218. That's way down here. So this is kicking this up a bit. Ticky's divergent. And you've got this bar up here, this pivot, and that certainly is a target for a long trade. But Premium said this was a good place to go long, and it's proven to be right. We'll come back. Well, we got another divergence in here, and it seems to want to go up. So we've been kind of reversing our position back and forth here. Not a particularly good place to be long at the price that we're in at. Not real happy with that. But would rather be late than sorry. Okay, we're long. Let's give this a little time. And we're getting some diversions at the top here. Looks like she's coming down. And that was a pretty good sized bar down. all the way back? Kidding. Only slight divergence down there. Well, there we go again. It's not going to stop there. This market is not paying any attention at all to the market profile to speak of. I mean, it certainly is nowhere near as precise as market profile has tended to be in the past. The premium, on the other hand, has been spot on, but you already knew that. See just a little divergence here. No. It's still going down. YN has been a little bit more obedient. No, now it's coming down. All right. Here we go. Let's get her back up again. Let's take a look at our trend chart. Now, from the nice oversold condition right in here, we went long. We had a nice buy program here. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But let's go ahead and check. Now our friends down in West Palm Beach, say 330 and 550. Oh, and if you'd like to know what they're calling for the day in terms of the overall direction of the market, all you have to do is ask yourself which of these two levels is the closest to fair value. Okay, so the market needs to move up a factor of 1 to reach a program buy. It needs to move down a factor of 1.2 to reach selling. Okay, you have to move down a factor of 1.2 to hit selling. So which is closer to fair value? Buy level or the sell level? The answer is simple. It's closer to the buy level. So the bias is long. It's just that simple. Now you can even figure out what the probability that they're calling based upon the difference between the two, which is 0.2, and that means that that's about a 65% probable long today that the market will close up. So now you know that 330 and 550, and what was this? $202. So way above their 330 level. In fact, we've had a lot of activity above 330. Because 330 is right about there. TradeStation does a terrible job with this, but it managed to work this time. How about that? Now, 550 was their sell level. Okay, 550 was the sell level, and we were divergent in our estimation. Now we were calling a long right here when it was at 593. You can see some of the problems with that system. All right, now this big drop in here. All right, you were divergent here, but you were still beginning to move down. So that was your big heads up. And then right after this big program buy, you became somewhat divergent here. Now that did result in a fairly significant drop, but I would have still, in fact we were still long at this point. Yeah, here on that little drop, that again, that really wasn't, there was no real significance to that. This was more significant, but we got divergent. A little higher, but then a lower. This was probably the biggest suggestion of a trend change, was right here on this drop. This is moving down, and then this was a fairly significant drop, and you saw it move down even further. Now, you got to wait until we reach that price, and that happens over here, and this stepped up quite a bit there, and was that fooled us. I don't think there's any two ways about it. It fooled us. We anticipated that this market was going long right there. We got stopped out. At a higher level here, so that's good, and it would really suggest that this market is moving up. But nevertheless, it came down. We got a this is slightly higher here. So, taking a long trade in here, we came up to this new high, and all this continues to suggest we're going up. All right. So reading the trend today, admittedly, was a bit difficult. So we've been long, we've been short all through the course of this morning. Then you get this big divergence here again, and the market drops. Now, right in here, you've got a very big divergence, big divergence. All right, and that's your low. That's your big divergence. A little bit hard to see. Let me spread that out. Big divergence. But see how this quickly steps down again and leaves us with kind of wondering what in the world is going on here. So it steps up here, but this isn't. This is a little bit predictive, because it's so low. And in fact, that's what happens until you get divergent again here at a slightly lower low. Let's bring this up a little higher. So it steps up here again, and off we go. So now we should be in a long trend. We should be looking at certainly moving back up to this high, and then we have to reevaluate, because that's very predictive. And all of these, according to the glorious prognosticator in West Palm Beach, these are program buys. I think not. Let's see what the people at Index ARB are calling. These numbers look a little bit more reasonable to me. $622. That looks more reasonable to me, but 277 looks better to me. 187, I think that's a little high. That makes more sense. Alright, so right now our target is right up here. $30.50. No, I'm sorry, 31. Alright, we got a little aberration in there. Sometimes you'll see, there we go, right up to 31, and almost to a buy level, according to where we just put that. Very close. So we just went above that level. Got a little diversion there, but this is still moving up, obviously. So that's a nice area. I mean, very predictive. Nice long trade. And from the low here, wonderful. Now, we should, in all honesty, should take this seriously. Look at what happened here. See that drop? This divergence, watch it come right back down. Right back down to that level. So reversing, reversing, and we did. We just reversed this. Took our profits, reversed it, and we're looking at coming right back down. 25. Now we're on a 20-second chart. No, we're on a 5-second chart. Pardon me. We're on a 5-second chart. So that's a very valid naked bar. And you see how divergent we were when we came up here. But what we were about to say, this level, all right, this BL 382, that's off. Because anytime you see, well, let's see here, maybe it's not. No, that's off. It's hard to demonstrate this. Let me see if I can show you a way that we can demonstrate why this happens at times. But before we do, we want to we may want to average in here to the short. I don't think we're going to get above 32.25, but we might. If we do, this thing is going to take off again. So we got to be careful in here. No. No. All right. That could be it. Whoa, no, 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 it is not. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Step down, step down. Big move up. That's right about where we would expect it. If you look on the matrix, 3450, 3425 is right about where this is would look to be taken a short in. So we have taken another short here at 3450. And again at 35. This will come down. There's no two ways about it. This is a range bar. It's going to come right back down. There you go. And we'll go lower, as you can see how far down this came. Now I'm taking seriously this low here. Little gap that will get filled. There it is. And now, and by the way, and that too is a range bar. See how it's coming right back up? We don't know how. It's not going much higher. going to come back and address this issue here. But what I'm going to do first of all is bring up another chart to see if we can't show you what the issue is here. So we'll put this on pause and we'll come back in a minute. This is still going up. We've got too much, we're going to have to see a much bigger divergence before we short this. So we're out of our, we took a short in here, we've dumped that again, and we're just looking for a good price to get into this long. This is predicted, but we're not ready yet because we're still moving higher. So we'll come back on that, but what I want to show you is this little issue right in here. It looks like an issue to me, and I want to demonstrate to you why it is. So we'll come back in a couple of minutes. Well, as it turns out, that's not an error. It's associating itself with the previous low pivot, and that's why it's showing up. It still doesn't look right, so I'm going to refresh the chart, see if it stays there. I don't. Something says it's not going to stay there. No, it didn't. All right, it looked off, and I can't see. I don't see the reason for it either. Because normally what will happen when this occurs is we'll get we might get a gap, we might get an ES bar wherein the open, high, low, close of the bar is the same. We don't have too many, today we don't have hardly any instances of this, because the market has been moving considerably on every 5-second bar. Well, we're coming right back up to the high, so we're glad we're long. I think we still have an issue on this low bar down here, but after further consideration of where we've been, that may not be as big of an issue as I originally thought. Okay, we're back up to the morning high. Got a lot of little warning signs in here. So we're taking our profits. Now the IB calculation would take us up to about 21. Wow. 2154-ish. That's where the IB would, and of course this very low volume up in here really raises doubt. That really raises doubt about us going much further, because here's where all your major volume was. So I don't think so. I wouldn't, I mean it could, yes, but that doesn't look very promising to me. So let's go back to the trend chart and we'll show you why we think this is a little bit of an issue now. And I'm going to go back to this pivot bar here. -5 looks out of place. It really does. Because when you look at where the thresholds were here, 476, 477, 451 here, and then it comes down. Let's see here. Now that low pivot was at 476. This is fine. And that's, no, that's out of place. It's just out of place. So if this is out of place, then this is really out of place. Okay. That's really out of place. Then we move up higher. Come back a little. We haven't really moved much here. We come down, and sometimes again this can be a little too high. So it steps down a little bit here, and we come to this level. And that's really, that doesn't look off. Okay? Because the last pivot was here. Alright, 481. And we move up just a little bit to here, and we're at 469. That's not bad. That makes sense. But if that makes sense, this doesn't make sense. Okay? So that doesn't make sense. This and this, not so good. Now, once again, got one of these bars here. I just don't like the way that looks. That bar, the threshold should be lower, and it's, see how it lines up perfectly at the low here. It's not lining up at the low. There's no, I can't really even see it. Clear-cut pivot here, other than right there, but that's off. So it's just a function of what the indicator is using to it's trying to read the pivot bar, and sometimes it has a slight difficulty doing that. So if you see something that's off, just refresh the chart. It will, thus far, it hasn't had any problem at all. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's more accurate. That is accurate. Was redundant. Okay. All right. So we moved higher. Now looks like we're still going up, but we've got a lot of little danger signs in here. So what will we look for? We look for a major divergence on the high. And we've been stepping up higher. 338, 33, 21. So it should be. Oh, we didn't have it quite the way we wanted it. Okay, a little bit more buying in here, and then we came to this divergence over here. But overall, that's still stepping up. Not quite as high as it was here, though. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Okay, even that's not quite right. But that's definitely not right. Alright, we may continue to move up here. I don't see us going much further than around 44.5. Unless we get another buy in here. There we go. 44.5, 44.75. Well, we're still higher. We still got one little contract long. So, oop, oop, oop. That's not good. I'm out. I'm out. Now this will take a minute to plot, but the reason I said no. So you don't have to wait for this to plot in order to see where the divergence is. It was that bar right in here. That was a big divergence in my estimation. And we're not getting much above that. So if this ticks up really any higher, and we get a lower reading, I may just short this. Alright, now that corrected itself. We're still long. But I got out. That was enough for me. We're just at about the high of the morning for this will come down. For the YM. So that's got to get tested. Although lately, we've been seeing, this is kind of an interesting, we've been seeing this kind of a little pattern. We get the big spike up on the first bar, we don't test it. But like it leaves it there, and then we short it on a much bigger divergence on the last bar here, as you can see. I don't know. Maybe this is a good place to short. I think we'll go short here. Yeah, that makes actually pretty good sense. Nice. Alright, we're going to let this ride and we'll come back in a few minutes. It looks like we're heading down for sure. Nice low bar here. So this would be our first target. And that's our next target. This could take a while because it's been moving up really nice. And from the old days of pattern, this will move back up. Oh, look at this! Look at this trend line. This is interesting. Let me show you this trend line. Yeah. Watch this thing move up here. Test something to the high in here. And then come right back down. Trend line might be a little off. Alright, so we did test this level here. And now you see the divergence again. And in fact, yeah, that's odd. I'm going to refresh this chart. Okay, she's moving up to 46.5. Yeah. Okay. 47. All right. I'm averaging in here. You may regret it. I see too much happening there on the low. Yeah, this thing continues to want to push higher. Oh my goodness. Okay, I could be very wrong here. If we go much above 49, I'm going to say nope, nope. Because really, okay, forget it. Nope, this isn't working. it's going to take us all the way up. So that trend line didn't do what we expected it to do. What we sometimes see, and this is real old school, is the market will come up here and short off of, as it comes up to the line, it'll short it right at that point. And we see some divergence in here, as you can tell. But it's not enough. Well, maybe now it is, but it continues to want to push higher, and it's heading for 52.50. Yeah. It's not good. It's not even thinking about looking back yet. It's giving us a lot of signs that it's going to, but as of yet, it's not ready to do so. Well, we do have divergence down here, but this is that's what's been fooling us. This is just apparently not a significant enough divergence to cause this to drop. We've got too many program buys going on here. Really nothing. No big sell program coming in, but we've just got a lot of spikes down that aren't making any sense. Here and here, back there. So I think this is going to come down, but it may take us all the way up to the IB projection before it actually shorts. So we'll come back. I'm looking at a high. The IB is at 53.50. 53.50, just a point higher than the high of the overnight. It looks like we're about to move up there too. No, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong line. That's the program buy level on the index ARB. Okay, we just hit it, 53.75. So you see the divergence there. And right up there at the IB level, you can imagine what I did. But for some reason, I'm also thinking that in spite of that divergence, in spite of everything else, we may need to see a larger divergence before it actually does make a more substantial short. And coming right back up, coming right back up. All right, we'll come back in a little bit. Well, it's actually beginning to pan out now. So I'm glad we did. Well, obviously that didn't work either. So, is anything going to work here, causing us to come back down? That's a good question. We've been suggesting that we need to get a pretty significant divergence, because all of the divergence that we've seen, as significant as it is, has evidently not been enough. So, on that basis, we got to be really careful here about taking any shorts. Now, the YM finally hit the IB projection. The INX is way above it. Oh, pardon me. No, the INDU hit the IB projection. The YM has yet to do so, though. Looks like it should be at about 476 or so for the IB projection. Let's just show it to you. And we're continuing to move up. So it looks like we may be heading toward the second standard deviation level. Okay. We'll come back a little later. Well, interestingly enough, we saw this step down one more time. Let's go back here. This look at where we were here. That was a 345. 319, 317, continuing to go up, and she drops to 335. In my estimation, it's not a huge divergence, not really, not based on what's been happening. But then, as we came down here, Big drop. Big drop. But that's tested. Get divergent in here again, and up we go. So we're running out of time here to go much further. So we'll come back in a little bit and recap what's happened. Just taking a look at that. Yeah, still stepping down. And we're still moving down. We're definitely still moving down. Well, that may have been it. So we just came down here, tested that level that we looked at previously. This stepping down here, here, here to here. Okay, that's out of place. Definitely out of place. But for that matter, so is this. And now that we are back to where we were, premium is dropping below that level. Now, right at this particular moment, there was a little bit of a divergence. Now it's continuing to move down. So we could very well finally be in this short. I mean, all things considered, we've clearly moved way beyond what is needed for a trend change. Okay, so we'll come back later today, just do a real quick recap. We're looking at a potential drop all the way down to 42.75, or is that 42.50? 42.50. Get a little gap up here. Could see a move back up to fill that gap. and the gap that just formed. So lots of little gaps in here. All right, we'll be back later today to recap. That concludes the live broadcast section of this. It's been a very interesting morning. So we look forward to seeing how the rest of the day develops. Oh, incidentally, we should have drawn your attention to the 5375 point of control up here on the way up. Because it went up to 60, I think. Yeah, 2160. And there was a 2157 upper value area as well. And on the YM, upper value area at 498, we've been as high as 488. We also had a point of control at 2163 on the INX. We went to 2163.45. $544 on the high of the INDU. So those were all in play here as we rallied up this morning. This is Rod Kuslin, Spooman for Risk, and brief review after the close. The market profile areas that we talked about earlier today, all of them were breached, even the 66.25 level here. We hit a high of 66.75. And we went way above the levels on the YM. INX, nothing there, and above the levels on the INDU as well. And we'll do a quick review of this in our recap. As you can see, we ran up to this high as we had talked about previously, started to come down. We got a little divergent right there at the bottom, played around here, and then this low was predicted, as you can see. Market tried to get up, got divergent again. Then finally, we've got this higher low right in here, which moves the market back up, and then we get the big divergent bar here. Straight down, tests this level, and gets divergent right there. Moves back up, continues moving up, continues moving up. This is real nice. Everything is in favor with the exception of this big bar down here. Okay, right there. And that's suggestive of a return to that price, which is yet to appear. And then we came up, got divergent again at the top there, started to move down, got divergent right here, with, pardon me, I'm in the wrong spot. There we are. Divergent right here, 384, same as it was over here. And then, as you can see up at the top, we drop again in the premium and it comes down. So that's where you have it. If you want to just get a real quick recap, you can look at our next video. I'm Rod Kuslin, Spoon for Risk.